Hi guys, we are welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are making some brown, and I said I'm going to be giving you guys a detailed recipe of how to make some brown. This one is different from the one that I had made before. So let me show you guys the ingredients. My daughter is 6 months plus now. She thinks she's going to 7 months now, so I bought this thing since I'm not being able to do it. But anyway, enough of the let's go. These are the ingredients that I'll be using. We have millet, corn, rice, spices, black pepper, and cloves. We have groundnut. We have this and this. So for the measurements of your cereals, you can choose whatever cereals you want and make them in equal amounts. The one that I did for this video, let me say for example, I used a mudu, and that was what I used for each of these grains. I used a mudu of all of the ingredients that I use. So you can decide to have the recipe, or you can decide to do more millet or more rice. So I did for the millet, for the Tigernut, all of them are all in the same measurement. So you just can decide, okay, whichever one you want to be prominent or less in your tom brown, then you do that. Then after that, one of the most major and the taxing part about making tom brown is in washing and sorting out the cereals, because there is always a lot of sand. When I mean a lot of sand, there is always a lot of sand. The day I did this, I had to complete everything in one day because that day was extremely sunny and the cereals basically dried in about 3 hours, and I had to go and grind and blend it. So once you are done, make sure you wash everything. The corn, the tiger nut most especially, they have normally come to these huge stones, so you wash them until the water runs clear. Then you know that you are good to go. So after you are done washing, put it in a sieve and allow the water to drip out a little before you find out where to spread them. The last time I made the tom brown, I had to spread them in my sitting room on the table, and it took about a day and a half for it to dry under the fan. But because that day was very sunny, I had to close mark it because of birds or anything perching on it. So you just have to make sure that you are close marking your cereals, and also you are spreading your hands. Like once it stays about 30 or 1 hour, you go out, spread it again for the ones that are under to come up and the ones that are up to go down, so the water can dry up as fast, as quickly as possible. Another thing that I would also like to mention is for the soya beans, you can also decide to wash it, soak it overnight, and remove the back peel. I didn't do it for this one, but you can also decide to do that, or you can cook it on fire for at least 1 hour, and then once it's done cooking, you remove the back just like you normally do when you're cooking moi moi or akara, the way you normally peel out the back of the beans. Then you sieve it out and dry it. That way, that is just what you want. But this was how I did mine. I just wash them and spread it out to all dry. Then you are over to your millet. You see the amount of sand in this. You just have no choice but to just be patient and wash your stuff thoroughly. And if you notice, I used a stainless steel to wash all of these grains, because I don't know, for some reason I think my mom taught me that if you use stainless steel for washing those cereals, rice and all those cereals, the sand tends to settle more under, so you don't have to worry about the sand a lot, except when it gets to that under part. I normally, this part I didn't want to start washing it, so I just had to throw it out and just ensure that the sand did not enter. This part, you just have to look for so many things to to work with in order to spread all your cereals, because when I was making this, I did not know that it was going to be this much, and that was why I was stuck at how I was going to spread out everything. But thankfully, I was able to make do with some things that I had in the house. Just get your normal bean bag and just spread it. Get a just anything you have. If you have trays, that's fine. If you also have the sack bag, that is also fine. Just spread it out and always use your hand and run through it from time to time to ensure that all the parts are dried out completely. So here I was done washing and spreading. If I tell you the amount of time that this took me to do, I underestimated how stressful it was going to be. At some point, I was just like, why do I have to do this? Like, why? But the effort was so rewarding because I don't have to buy cereals again. So you can also decide to choose to skip some cereals or some of the grains that you might not want, because I added rice to it as well, and all of them are just in the same measurement. So don't worry about, just do your measurement how you want it. If you want your rice to be more, that's fine. If you want Tigernut to be more, that is fine. But this Tigernut that I did, the stone in this Tigernut. Anyway, once you're done with your rice, just leave it out the same way I did. Leave it out in the sieve to drain out some of the water, and then you spread them. Can see how beautiful the rice was looking. I was so proud of myself. Once you make these cereals, you will be so happy, and it will save you a lot of money, because the quantity that I got from these cereals can last my baby up to 3 months, and it's still remaining. Now for the dates, I bought half a mudu of the dates, and after I was done, I noticed that the taste came out, but it didn't come out as much as I would have loved it to. So when you're adding dates, or if you want to add dates, I would advise that you make it a mudu or a mudu and a half of dates. That way it won't be so sweet, but the taste would also be lovely. You would love and appreciate how it comes out, and it's also nutritious for your children as well. At this stage, my cereals were all dried up, and I was super happy. I was like, finally, I was going to get this done. And why the rush was, I was going to travel with it as well. So I was just like, is it going to work out today, or is it going not to work, or is it not going to work out? But anyway, your granules, just remove the skin. You know the normal way you peel your granules, so just do your thing, and you don't have to roast these ones. But every other cereals that you have, the time to roast it is actually now. So you get your hot pan and transfer all the cereals. You have to be careful not to waste, because here I was just a bit overwhelmed. But anyway, just toast up your cereals until they are well toasted up. Let's say in about 10 minutes, just toast up about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Make sure you are stirring it continuously. You are stirring it consistently so it doesn't burn, and also some of the cereals doesn't pop. Some of the grains don't pop, because the millets, they actually pop. The millet pops, and the Guinea corn also pops, like the way the popcorn pops. So if you are leaving it without stirring it vigorously on fire, it's going to pop like popcorn, and you don't want that. I don't want to also leave it out on fire. See those white things? Yes, that is the popping that I meant. So you don't want all of your cereals to pop. That is why you have to be very fast with them as well. So once it's done, I just spread it out on a tray for it to cool a little before I transfer it to a pot. So you're going to do this until you are done with those cereals that you washed. This part, once you're at this stage, you actually know that you are at least 50% done, because there is still more work to be done. These are all the cereals that has been toasted and will be grinded. This quantity, you have to take it to an industrial grinding people, those people that grind, those commercial people. That is where I took the cereal to grind it. The people that grind the dry ones, yes. So for the spices, these spices, they are heavenly. I loved it. But anyway, you just take it to the grinding and they will do their thing. If you're lucky to find someone who is actually patient enough to grind it as many times as possible, then you won't have to sieve out a lot of chaff. But other than that, we have come to the end of our video, and I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, please like this video and also always come back for more. Thank you so much for watching up to this stage. And if you do, just type, yeah, the best on brown. Bye, guys.